I think the last comment I said was that there was an attempt to meet with me, and it was minus corporate. Listen, just let me say this. That's my mother's primary store. Before I moved, that was my family's primary store. Some of you, I can't change your mind, and that's completely fine. Social media, man, I tell you, the best thing about it is you're connected to millions of people that you wouldn't be able to put your hands on that aren't tangible. The worst thing about it is you're connected to millions of people that you can't put your hands on that's tangible. Some of you, man, some of you will just never get it. I think we can all agree that the reason that it was done was because of stealing. What's funny is I'm seeing a lot of people say that it has nothing to do with race. There's stealing that goes on all across this nation in areas that are considered Caucasian as well, to the disbelief of some of you guys. I am seeing some good conversation as it relates to people do not like the cages. And that's a good place to start. Let me say this as well. This is a pilot program, according to Kroger Corporate. A store within a store, a pilot program. A pilot program means a test run. Some of you Negroes, you're so used to being force-fed, and some of you have so much self-hate, especially as it relates to the area of Old National Highway. I've been saying this over and over again. A pilot program means we're going to try this out to see if it works. Does it mean that it's the end-all, tell-all? Does it mean that it is the only option? It is a pilot program. Well, the people have expressed frustration with this pilot program, therefore it must be changed. As a store owner, you got every single right to protect your merchandise. Without question, that's not an argument. But you do not do it at the expense of those in the community who don't have a damn thing to do with the theft. You're the customer. You set the tone for how businesses operate in your community. I've gotten the same statistics that people were floating around about the theft and the numbers. Hell, I got that over a year and a half ago. But if you think for one damn second that if the same numbers were taking place on the north end of town, that they would have put those cages in there, then you, sir, you, madam, you've got a fucking problem. I'm seeing folks getting heated on both sides, name calling on both sides. But you know what's funny? I think the people of the Old National area are sick and tired of being talked about like second-class citizens from their own damn folk. Your mama stays there. Your grandmama stays there. Does it have its challenges? Yes, it does. But there's some very good people that live off and around the area of Old National. And we're sick of y'all talking about folks like you always eating high on the hog. What's funny is I'm seeing a collaboration now. Let me rephrase. Excuse me. I'm seeing the city publicly getting involved. I'm seeing that on Facebook. But you know what's funny about that is the city is broken up into different districts, 1 through 7, and then there's a mayor. Kroger Old National falls in the area of District 6, but there also are District 5 and 7 that are responsible for Old National. So it's just interesting to see a member of city council putting out good messages about how can we, rectify this problem. But the only issue I have is, why aren't you collaborating with your colleagues who represent that district? Lo and behold, if someone else was to jump into that particular district without consulting with this council representative, man, they would lose their shit. So we can't have these pseudo public solution questions without collabing with colleagues that truly represent the area. It seems disingenuous. A lot of people, what up, Shantae? I know you were asking what's my take on this. Shantae Malone, Westlake. Man, listen, this press conference coming up tomorrow, different cases that I'm dealing with police. I mean, hey, Shantae, it's almost, and this is not directed to you. Sometimes I just get tired of arguing with Negroes. Somebody even had the nerve, once I put the famous quote by Harriet Tubman, told me I needed to do a little more research because that quote wasn't Harriet Tubman. Sister, something wrong with you. See, so my only position is this. The pilot program was executed. It is not accepted. So I'm going to let some of you that are way smarter than I come up with a different solution. It's so many people's hands in this, man. It's just, it's gotten too messy. It's gotten too messy. And plus I understand that there is a council member that represents that district that is attacking it the correct way, which is through corporate. But I want you to understand my position. I understand Union City has been done like that. I understand, of course, Old National. I understand Wesley Chapel. I understand Ralph David Abernathy. It's bigger than just Old National. So as city officials from South Fulton chime in, as they should, there are some of us that deal with things from a larger perspective. All of the pilot programs must go. People don't shop where they feel like they're in a damn compound, and it's a pilot program. So get some folks to the table, sit down, and come up with a different solution that will also address the theft issue. And to some of you Negroes that keep saying it ain't no race issue, I'd like to remind you guys. I'd like to remind you guys of something that happened over in the Camp Creek, Butner Road, Cliftondale area. Districts 2, 3, and 4. When I first moved in the area, the power used to cut off when the wind blew, literally. And some of you know I'm not lying. Some of you heard this before. I put a post out seeing who was ready to help engage Greystone Power Company. As I put, I know this doesn't happen on the north end of town. I won't call names right now, but a few people, basically said, don't assume that this is only happening on the south end of town. I then spearheaded the charge against Greystone, brought in the comrade Commissioner Marvin Arrington Jr. Greystone's CEO was forced to come down here and face reluctantly the citizens who were paying bills religiously to a company that was keeping them in the dark until it stopped. Huge tree trimming project. Trees were growing all through power lines. A lot of the trees during storms or gusts of wind were were snapping and breaking power lines, causing power outages. A $5 million proposed sub-power station. We literally kept the lights on for you. But if it was up to you in that situation, you would have been force-fed and happy, not happy, but you simply would have still been in the dark. Like many of you are now. Not understanding the vicious tentacles of capitalism and how it affects certain communities more than others. We're too easily bamboozled. We're too easily demonized. We're too easily wronged. Because many of you don't even know you're damn being wrong. And so what's so funny is companies, governments, people will fuck you over. And some of you will not only justify getting screwed, you'll become the mouthpiece of the screwer against your own damn folk. Man, we got so much to deal with, man. Some of this, man, I just can't, I can't fight all these battles. I got to concentrate. But I will say this. The reason I dealt with Kroger, not only because it was in my home area, because I have been known for demanding that businesses in our community treat us with respect. Theft is a part of a business's issue. They have every right to protect their merchandise, but you've got every right as a customer, a paying customer, to demand equal treatment. And they would not have put the damn pilot project on the north end of town. So whoever don't like that, you can put that in your pipe and smoke it, because that's the real deal. Last but not least,